So we're just talking about like China and Iran, and it turns out today Iran is reported to have been attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz with the president's attention and time in China. The retired General Chuck Wald is with us right now. He's a former director of strategic planning and policy for the Air Force, former Deputy Commander of U.S. European Command. General Wald, welcome back to the show. I guess the way I would start it, just to kind of follow up on the conversation we were just previously having, is I'm having trouble, even with all the conversations we have with experts like you on a day in and day out basis, of imagining how the war with Iran is going to end and when it's going to end. What would you say to people who are having the same thoughts?
I think it's a good question. I mean, I think we've had a lull here with the ceasefire and then the negotiations, so to speak, ongoing. But I think it's actually probably has to start up a little bit again because of the reports that Iran may have some more missile capability, although I think some of those reports are fallacious.
You're talking about the New York Times report from the other day, where they said that for all this talk from Secretary Hegseth, President Trump, and others, that Iran has been decimated, that their missile capability may have been rebuilt to not far off where it was at the beginning of the war. So, you know, you don't buy the report? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I heard the commander of CENTCOM, Brad Cooper, in a testimony before Congress say that he thought those reports are incorrect. I can't imagine anybody having better information than the commander of the operation. He's a very, very seasoned, credible, lot of integrity guy. He's got his own intelligence unit. I think the reports are incorrect, whether they were falsely reported or falsely reported by somebody. I'm not saying the New York Times did that, but I don't believe it. But I do believe that the missiles, if they do have any left, should be addressed by CENTCOM, and we should take out as many as we possibly can. I've said that before. We've talked about it on this program.
Yes, we have. And so if kinetic action in the coming days becomes the course of action for the United States, going back to my original question about how we get from here to the end of the war, it seems like that would certainly push that time frame out, right, and make it last even longer than some are comfortable with. Is that fair?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it may speed up the end of it, because right now we're in kind of a lull right now, and we're in I wouldn't call it a stalemate, but it's not over. I think we need to take out as much military capability as we possibly can from the Iranian regime. That includes missiles, that includes air defense, that includes command and control, that includes anything that has to do with building a nuclear weapon. And I think we should do it soon, and I think it'd be the smart thing to do.
So if you're President Trump, you get back from China, and right away you're back attacking Iran, but strategically. Like, what specifically are you talking about hitting?
Well, there are reports, and I think even Admiral Cooper mentioned it. They know there's some missile capability left. I think the report that there's 30 out of 33 sites along the Straits of Hormuz that somebody in the intel community says they've discovered. I think if that were the case, we'd take 30 of the 33 out as soon as we possibly can. And then any other capability that helps them build missile capability that could threaten either our Gulf Cooperation Council friends in the region or
right.
Israel for that matter.
You know, one last thing, General, we've been talking a lot about Iran's capability. What about ours, with the concerns that have been raised over stockpiles? And now even our colleagues at the Hill were reporting earlier today that if the president wants more money and wants to fund this war further, he might have some trouble in his own party in getting that funding through the Senate. So what about our own capabilities to keep this war going for as long as you seem to think might be necessary to carry out what you think might be necessary?
Well, as a military guy, I never have enough weapons, but I believe we have enough in stockpile in other places around the country, or not the country, but the world for that matter. But again, you can never have enough weapons. I do think the acceleration of the production of weapons by some of our defense contractors is a really good idea. But I will tell you this: I said it back when we did Bosnia. I was on TV for the Pentagon. They had a individual from Houston, a female, call in and say, I'm worried that we're running out of weapons. I told her at that time, we're not running out of weapons, and we have plenty. I'd say the same thing right now.
Okay, General Wald, thank you for today. Thank you for always coming on with your point of view. We appreciate it very much.